This episode of Terry and Emily Teach Coding, we're going to be going through the HTML project. We'll do another two after this that you'll get in a couple of weeks, but we're going to do the HTML project so you have the first two projects to go off of for your program. So the first thing that you're going to do is print out your directions, just like with Scratch. Then you're going to open up your browser and go to the address as suggested. Once again, we just picked the first project in Scratch, or in HTML rather, and you can use any of them. You don't have to use just this one.
The directions are more thorough in the first one.
So your address for this one is jumpto.cc/web-intro.
And I haven't practiced this one, so it might be rough. I do recommend practicing before you do it with your children. This is the open screen. The code that you can see on the left of the trinket, this is a trinket, is HTML. On the right of the trinket, you can see the web page that the HTML code has made. HTML uses tags to build web pages. You can see that on line 8 of the code.
So the P in brackets is an example of a tag, and it's short for paragraph. So any paragraph that you start, you're going to start with in triangle brackets, P, and then in order to close the paragraph, you've got triangle brackets and a slash.
P.
That's how, and slash P, right? That's how you're going to open and close any part of your HTML page. Open is always brackets with whatever letter it is that you're using. So for head here, it's brackets and head. To close that element of the page, it's the same brackets, the same word, but precipitated by a slash.
It tells us that we can make it bold by using the triangles and a B for bold. And then to end the bold, which they did on running, you use the triangles /B. Triangles HTML mark the start and end of the HTML document.
So your HTML, your triangle HTML, has to be the very first thing in your document. The triangle /HTML has to be the very last thing in your document. Anything outside of either one of those will not show up.
The head is where stuff like CSS goes. We'll get there later, thank goodness. And then body is where your website content goes. Make a change to one of the paragraphs of text in the HTML on the left. Click Run and you should see your web page change on the right. So, we'll go down to the name. Hi, my name is Andy, and change it to Terry. And you can see on the right, it changed the name. If you make a mistake and want to undo your changes, you can click the menu button and then click Reset. Menu button right here. Click Reset. Ha! I was doing, you sure you want to do it? Yes. And you can save it. You don't need a Trinket account to save your projects. If you don't have a Trinket account, you click the down arrow and then click Link. It gives you a link you can save and come back to later. You'll need to do this every time you make changes so that because the link will change. I'm not going to. And I'm going to change my name back. Add another paragraph is the challenge. Can you add a third paragraph of text?
So to add a paragraph, you're going to line down from the previous paragraph, but keep it within those two body tags. That's the body of your web page, the stuff that shows up. You're going to start your paragraph with the same bracket P, just like we talked about earlier.
And those are above the comma, capital comma, P, capital period.
And it looks like this site adds your end bracket for you, which is pretty nifty because that way you can never forget it.
It's the example they give is putting your birthday in, so. Period. Then you can add bold and underlined text to your new paragraph. We're going to underline birthday by putting in...
When you do bold, underline, or italics, you only put it around the word or phrase that you want bold, underlined, or italicized.
As they did with running and riding my bike. I'm going to underline, so it's a triangle thing and a U and a triangle thing. And
so because it adds the closing bracket for you, it may be easier to put those in and then go back and delete as we've just done. And there we've got
I'm good at deleting. All right, and then you save. Now it says, what is CSS? CSS stands for, this is a test for Emily.
Cascading Style Sheets.
Mine, you got it. And is the language used to style web pages and make them look nice.
So this is where you would add like color to the back of your page or pictures or formatting, things like that. That's what makes them pretty.
CSS lists all the properties of a particular tag. Click the Style CSS tab to see the CSS for your web page. Up at the top.
So that's in a separate tab up here.
Yep. We click it. So we've got white and black.
Now, CSS coding is a little bit different than the HTML part. You don't use the same kinds of tags. So if you try and add those bracket tags in here, it will not do anything.
Let's make it hard for ourselves. Okay. It is one property for paragraph. It has one property for paragraphs, which is that the text color should be black.
That's under the P here.
Change the word black to blue. You should see the color change. Okay? And then it says, save your project. Oh, and then the challenge is, make the paragraphs of the text orange or the background gray. Well, that seems pretty simple. We're going to go up to white and change it to gray, spelled with an E. And I like the blue. I'll do orange.
You can always change it back.
No, I like the orange. Save your project. Now we're going to use what we've learned. This was just learning to make a birthday card. So we need to open a new trinket. Jump to .cc// web card. Did I spell everything right? Yes.
And we wait.
Okay. It says, don't worry if you don't understand the code. The birthday card looks pretty boring, so we're going to make some changes. Click the button on the front of the card. Is this it?
Yep.
Okay, click to open. And see it open to reveal the inside. Okay. Oh, there. Go to line 14 of your code. Just like in the earlier example, you can edit any of the text to customize the card. It says, happy birthday, let's add a smiley face.
Now, I would just like to point out here that you've got you have a title, and this is just the outside of the card, so prior to you opening it. So if you wanted to add that same smiley face, you would need to go down to line 25 where it says inside title and add it twice. Nope, down by happy birthday. End of the line, yep.
Okay.
And you'd have to click to open to see what it did because it's inside the card. And there's our smiley face.
Now we go back to the cover. Can you find the HTML for the robot image? It's on line 17 is the hint. Robot.
Outside pic, source is robot.png. For these, you want to make sure that you always have your quotation marks around them or it won't work.
Change robot to sun.
So the part where it says outside pic just tells you where in the card it's going. That's your image ID. It's telling you what part of the card it's on.
And you can see it
source, the SRC, which is source, tells you where the image is coming from. In this case, it's images that they have previously selected.
Your choices are boy, diamond, dinosaur, flowers, girl, rainbow, robot, spaceship, sun, tea, or trophy. Aw, I like that. You can also edit the CSS of the birthday card. Click on the tab for Style, CSS. Begins for the outside of the card. We're going to change the background color right up here on line 4. Notice there's no space between light and gray to light green. You can also change the size of the image. Go to the outside pic CSS. Outside
all the way down
pic
here. Hashtag
CSS.
Pic, yeah.
And change the width and height of the outside image to 200.
So the PX at the end there stands for number of pixels.
200.
It made it much wider.
And height.
So you do want to watch to make sure that they're kind of similar, particularly for pictures like this, because like you saw earlier, it can distort the image if they're way too far off.
Then it says to change the font. Go to outside title CSS and change the font family.
Above outside pic?
Outside title, font family, Courier, to...
Don't do the whole line, there you go.
Yep. Comic, Sans MS, and the font size to 16.
And there you see your font has changed.
You can use other fonts like Arial, Impact, or Tahoma. So we are gonna...
Just about any font that you find in Microsoft Word, you should be able to access on here. So she's changed it to Tahoma.
And then it says, save your project. Next, you want to go into the inside. And there are no directions. You can change things as you like. And the inside is in the same screen. That doesn't change.
It's hashtag inside instead of hashtag outside.
We want the background color to be pink. Oops. Oops. And then go back to open. I have to open it every time.
Yeah, because it reloads it.
Okay. I'm liking the title. I like the picture. The message. I would like it to be in.
Now keep in mind the message part of this is just what it says, or is just what the words look like, not what the words say. If you want to change what the words say, you have to go back to index.html. So all that did was change the color. If you want to change it from saying your message here to saying, you know, happy birthday best friend, or hey best friend I love you, or whatever, you have to go back to your index.html and go down to your inside or PID message where it says your message here. There you go. Yep. And then if you go back over to open.
Now you've finished your card. Oh, they have a dinosaur. Ooh. Is that under CSS or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So go to your CSS. So she wants to change the inside to the dinosaur, and you're going to go to inside pick. Yep. Oh. Nope, it's back in index. Go back to index. Image inside.
There it is, girl.
Change it from girl.png to dinosaur.png. Okay, and then test it.
Open it every time. That's a nuisance. Oh, he's kind of...
So, different images need different pixel widths, right? So you have to go back to your CSS to make that work and make it look okay. And you're just going to go to the inside pick and change your
width to start with and test it.
And there he is. That's much better.
Now that you've finished your card, you can share it or email it to someone. That's under the arrow under share. I'm going to email it. Let's see if this works. To Emily. My name and my email, and send. Now she'll get a birthday card 6 months early.
5 months early.
5 months early. And that's it for HTML. Without practicing.
So you can see it's pretty straightforward. Each HTML is a lot of just changing words. My advice is just to make sure that you change your brackets and make sure that your brackets are correct. And watch out for the super little details like the quotation marks and things like that as they're playing. So if something doesn't work, if they try and explore afterwards, for whatever reason, go back and check to make sure that they have their closing brackets, which they should because it adds them in. Just make sure that they're in the right place. And make sure that they have all of the quotation marks that they need and everything. This trinket makes it pretty easy. It changes the colors of the words as you go, so you should be able to see what's open and what's closed and where all of the information is in between the brackets. Good luck!
The voice of experience.